Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday, October 26, 2020. It's a great day to be a junior potter. Mr. Parrott here with your science rundown of what we're doing in class today. First off, we got the bell ringer. Make sure that you're answering it. We are going to be reviewing our notes over photosynthesis. So let me go ahead and pull some of those things up so we can take a look at what we are doing as far as photosynthesis is concerned here. You should already have the notes completed. Just going to go over, make sure there's no lingering questions with anything. So let me pull it up here and make it full screen. Bloop. Full screen it is. It's loading up. So this is on the back side of your cellular respiration notes, and as we go through this, you'll see that it uses the same things as respiration that we talked about last week, except in reverse. So let's dig into it here. I'm going to skip past the stuff that you did already for your assignment because you've already done it for your assignment. So the first thing with photosynthesis is that we have to look at what it actually does. It is where the plant cell captures energy in the form of sunlight and uses that solar power to make food. That is photosynthesis. And basically all of our food gets obtained through this, whether directly, like the plants do, they get it directly from the sun, or indirectly, like us as animals get it, because we eat plant material. Even if we eat meat, we are still eating something that at one point ate an animal or ate something that came from a plant. It's our basis of our food chain. You can see down below there we've got, even though the sun's not technically a part of the food chain, since we're talking about it, we can start with the sun. It gets by the grass. The grass is directly in contact with the sun. But even the zebra that comes along and eats the grass, since the zebra is eating the food that's produced from there, is getting the energy from the sun. Even the lion that eats the zebra, because the zebra ate the grass, which the grass got its food from the sun, it is what we call indirectly feeding off of the sun there. So the sun's kind of an important part in all this, making sure that we get our energy kind of indirectly from the sun going on there. So we've got our inputs. Today, our inputs is our energy, which is going to be our sun. It's usually not shown in the equation just because sunlight is not a molecule. It is a different form of energy. It's not like ATP, where ATP was the actual molecule. That's why we added it in there. So there's a couple of different ways that you'll see it added in. For our purposes, we consider it an input because you need to put it in order to get the reaction to happen. But they also need water and carbon dioxide. The products then, the outputs, is oxygen and sugar, which are the two things that we need in order to do respiration. So it's got a couple of stages, just like respiration does. The first thing is that the main stuff of capturing light happens in the leaves. Now, it can happen in other places, but the majority, that is the leaf's job, is to capture sunlight. Inside of the leaf cell, there is tons of chloroplasts inside of each one of the cells. Those chloroplasts, inside of them have what is called chlorophyll, which fills up the chloroplast with a green pigment, which is a green color, which absorbs the light. Plants then get water and carbon dioxide in order to make their food. We need the other parts. The leaves take care of the sunlight, but we need other things to help with the water and carbon dioxide. The plant roots is in charge of getting water, usually from the soil, and carbon dioxide enters through the plant through little openings that are underneath the leaf called the stomata. And that's a microscopic image of the underside of a leaf, so you can see all those kind of little holes popping up all over the place underneath the leaf there. Those are the stomata. They're like little mouths that kind of open. They let in the gas. They also let out the oxygen. That's where the oxygen is going to be coming out of. Now, this is where the big chemical reaction happens. So in this case, what happens is that when the sunlight gets with the carbon dioxide and the water, it will break apart those molecules. And when they reassemble it, what the chloroplast's job is to reassemble, it uses all the pieces from the carbon dioxide and the water to reassemble it into a sugar. The leftovers in this case is oxygen. Plants only need so much oxygen in order to carry out respiration, so it ends up giving the boot to a majority of the leftover oxygen so that it releases it back into the air, just like we breathe out carbon dioxide. So oxygen goes back through the leaf, through the stomata, kind of like we give out stuff through our mouth, and then the sugars get stored in a variety of different places depending on the type of plant. Some of them it's stored in the leaf, some of it it's stored in the stem, some of it gets stored in, if they make like a fruit, some of it gets stored in their roots. It all depends on what part, what type of plant it is, depends on what type of area that sugar is going to get stored into. If you think about a lot of our fruits and veggies, a lot of them end up forming in different places, whether it's the roots or the plants, or not the plants, but the roots or the stems or the leaves, some of those more vegetative stuff, or if it's just a straight up fruit itself. That would be how things are happening with that. So then we finally got our photosynthesis equation, which, as I mentioned, kind of leaves out sunlight, but sunlight is involved with it. So we need to make sure that we have that always in there. You watched the little video kind of showing it. So this is what we fully, usually we go with carbon dioxide, water, plus the sunlight. Arrow gives you the oxygen and the sugar. So usually we will add it in for our intents and purposes, but just remember that it's not really technically a molecule in that point. So some people don't add it in because of that. I like to add it in so we don't forget it, because we need sunlight in order to do this whole process anyway. So we might as well add it in as an input because it is needed in order to get this stuff going. So that's kind of going over our notes from the other day. Let's check out our assignment. Transition over into that and showing you that here. Just gotta find where I had placed it. I'll just open it up again in a new tab. We'll go to science. We'll go to October. We'll go to this week of the 26th. There it is right there on Monday. There's your bell ringer. Here's where your assignment is, photosynthesis questions. It is very similar to the ones that we did about respiration. So since you've already done the ones about respiration, this one shouldn't look too different. We have the same kind of styles in there. That's your multiple choice. We've got name the inputs and name the outputs to it. We've got the drop-down boxes to fill in the blank. We've got a couple of different things that I found with articles and some cool different things that people have done involving plants and photosynthesis. And it may seem like a lot, but it's how they spaced it out. There's usually like one or two sentences in there, but they got some cool things going on with it, and some important things of what's affecting the world. So one of them talks about the wildfires, which are currently going on. It seems like every year in California, talks about how that is kind of working with photosynthesis. We have these people that made these plant chandeliers, which actually work as air purifiers in big cities, so that they can breathe in more clean air. So there's some stuff dealing with that on there. And then there's this last one where we're trying to make artificial photosynthesis. So trying to figure out how we can do photosynthesis without involving the plant itself. So they call it hacking photosynthesis. And I thought this one was kind of, I took a snippet from a much larger article. The article's, a couple pages long. I chunked out a couple of the kind of things that they're doing. It's also involving people that are doing this in Illinois, so it's happening at U of I. So our big college that's in our state there. That one of the professors there is a part of this process there, which is kind of cool that they're trying to figure out how to use photosynthesis and kind of hack it so that we can do it, so we can basically make sugar, which would be able to feed more people, or to kind of get it running a little bit more efficiently there. So with that being said, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you back soon with us if you're not here for whatever reason. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email. Be safe out there, and I will see you later.